Arsenal must win. There are no excuses. Arsenal got to win tomorrow night at 8 p.m. against Burnley at the Emirates before a full crowd will be rocking in front of hopefully the first title since 22 years. And we cannot struggle against Burnley. We cannot left anything out there. We have to let anything out there, and we gotta get the 3 points. Plain and simple, no sugarcoating. Arsenal have got to win tomorrow. But first of all, let's go into some details. What I will cover in this video. I will go up for the predicted lineup, which I think will start. And afterwards, we get into the tactical battle, of course. I don't think there will be much, but let's see. The key players for Arsenal, of course, and why I think mentality will play a big key for us. First of all, let's go through the predicted lineup. I think we'll start, of course, Raya in goal. On the left-hand side, I think we start with Hincapié instead of Calafiori. If Calafiori is fit, he shall play. News showed that he trained with the team, but it maybe is a close call, as Arteta said in his last interview. And in the middle, of course, this will be a close call. I would go for Calafiori if he's fit, because he's more expanding. He's the more offensive player, and in this game we need our offensive players to shine. Otherwise, of course, Saliba and Gabriel, our rock solid defense. And otherwise, on the right hand side, I expect instead of White, of course, White is now injured. Unfortunately, rest out for the rest of the season and also the World Cup. Unfortunately for him, I think we will start Mosquera. There is also a possibility that Calafiori is fit and that we maybe play Hincapié on the left hand side and maybe Calafiori or vice versa. Let's see, let's find out. But I think this will be the back line, which will be very solid. And then in front, of course, Rice, he will mop up everything. I think Burnley has to offer there in attack. And then I think we should go for Lewis Kelly. Please don't change anything there, because he's just the more expanding player right now in offense instead of Zubimendi. And then in the other role, in the 10, we should go for Odegaard. I'm sorry, but now we should go for Odegaard. I was not a proponent of this beforehand in the last few weeks, but Eze has struggled a little bit in the last few weeks, but has not shown as much. I love Eze. I'm a big proponent of Eze, but in this case, I would go for Odegaard. Odegaard to solve maybe the deep block. And then on the flank, of course, it has to be Saka on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, no worries, please start Trossard. I know he struggled in recent months or the whole year maybe, but in the last game, he was dynamite. And when we need him, he shows up. So yeah, that's it. And of course, the 9 position, although I hope Arteta doesn't do it. Please don't do it. Please don't play Havertz. I know he can be a bit more fluid, maybe in movement and so on and so forth. Maybe is a bit more the player who can play a 1-2 and so on. But I would go for Gyökeres, because Gyökeres, he is one of the cogs who scored our goals, so that we are in this solid and this very, very good and healthy position. We are right now at the top, or we're in the perfect position right at the top, and 2 games just ahead, just 2 games left, I'm sorry, for the ultimate prize, the Premier League, and we gotta get it now. So Gyökeres, of course, has to start there. Our key players will be, for me, or our key player will be, for me, is the 10 role. It will be, for me, it will be Odegaard, and if Odegaard doesn't start, then it will be Eze, because I think they will, and they have to be brave on the ball. They have to find the pockets, and they have to get the balls through. If an attacker slips through the line, then they have to chip the ball over them or pass it through. Make a 1-2 as Odegaard did so well against West Ham. The 1-2 with Rice, just then shimming the ball and protecting it, and then just laying it back to Trossard. That has to be the way, and that has that is in my opinion the key player, Odegaard or Eze, the 10 role, and otherwise we have to be very tactical wise. I think it just will be we will have much of the ball, we will have the possession. Burnley will just stay in a deep block. Let's be frank, Burnley is relegated officially since a few weeks, and Burnley have pride in them. So I'm very confident, but let's be a little bit cautious because they played 2-2 at home against Aston Villa, which is now a Champions League prospect for the next team, Champions League team. But we gotta be strong in the head. We gotta be strong mentally. We gotta be sharp, and therefore I think the key will be that we are on the front foot from the very first beginning. We should score, of course, the first goal. Yeah, I know that's the old saying in football, but we have to score obviously early. And if we score, please make it early in the first half. Otherwise, the stadium would get a little bit riled up, a little bit nervous because we gotta see that the mentality has to be strong. We have to attack them from the first minute and not just progress the ball sloppy or just slow. We have to attack them from the very first beginning. That's in my humble opinion. And then just score an early goal. That would be, of course, for us all a blessing. We got to score early and hopefully often, but the mentality has to be strong. We have to be aggressive, but not careless, of course. We have to be careful of counters from Burnley. I don't expect too many because we have a very solid defensive line, and Rice will mop that up. I think is one of the best players in this league, and also for us. And as I said before, with Eze and maybe Odegaard, I hope Odegaard, and then we have to play quick passes in and around the box, and so to let our attacking players like Gyökeres, Saka, and Trossard shine. And I think that will be the case in this game. And otherwise, the key players I've discussed already will be Odegaard for me. And regarding Burnley, the only player maybe to mention here, we cannot let Walker Kyle Walker win another prem in front of us. And let's leave it at there. We gotta win this game. If it's a 1-0, it's a 1-0. If it's a 2-0, it's 2-0. If it's higher, it's even better. Also for goal scoring purposes, because in the goal difference, Manchester City has now leapfrogged us slightly. But we don't have to worry about that. I hope so, because we gotta win this game. I hope comfortably. And we just have to see at the end of the day that we don't play the same game as against West Ham, because we were not really creative in the front in the last third, and we were not crisp enough. We just had a few scenes, a few standards, and otherwise set pieces. I'm sorry, and otherwise we didn't really make much noise in front of goal. A second half was just frightening for me, or just a scary affair, as I think all of us really or lived there, and it was just not the game we expected. But otherwise than that, we gotta play tough. We gotta play aggressively, and if we play aggressive on the front foot, I think this will be our game. And do not let West Ham happen again. If it's the end result, fine, but please, there were some moments of heart attack in this game, and also at the end, it was quite scary. Otherwise than that, my scoring prediction will be 3-0, 3-0 for the Arsenal. A comfortable win. I think we will score in the first half once or twice, and also make a third goal. I hope so, maybe more. Let's be positive about it. I am, and let's not get this a nervous affair as in the last game, and let's keep the pressure up on City. City tomorrow play against Bournemouth, and Bournemouth are a tough side, especially at home. They play for Europe as well, and I hope they can take something from them, because in the last game they draw with them. It was a 2-2, I guess. It was a 2-2, and it was a very good end result last way around. So let's hope for that. But let's just do our homework, beat Burnley, which are already relegated, and let's get one step closer to the title. And maybe that's all we need. But let's keep winning. My man of the match will be Martin Odegaard. I think he will have 1 or 2 assists, maybe score a goal, uh, and hopefully Gyökeres also scores because that's always good for the strikers side of things. Uh, yeah. If you're new here, I'm SevGunner. I'm talking all things Arsenal, with honest opinion, no BS, and